Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to another Gemstone Legends video. And in this video we have another boosted altar. You can see I've got double the chances of everybody else here because I've got 2 copies of the hero shown. Not accurate. Oh, there's a decoy over here. Alright, we have Delarosa. I think this is a pretty interesting hero for one reason in particular that I'll point out when I do the review portion, but that's what has piqued my interest here and is the basis for my summon here. So I figured I'd share that with you guys, and let's get into it. So we have a legendary attacker ranger. Bloodstar, 100% chance to inflict bleed on all enemies for 2 turns twice. Gains increased speed for 3 turns. Okay, interesting. Deals damage to all enemies based on 1450% speed. Not a mechanic that we're used to seeing often. They're not the first speed-based attacker, but I'm just trying to think of how to evaluate that number in comparison to others, because Lee is the first hero I think of that has a speed-based damage, but his is based on doing 6 hits, and it's a little more complicated. But let's keep going here. I want to show you the part that I think is the most interesting. For every 5 turns of the battle, she increases her speed by 5. Okay? Max is up to 30 more. She heals herself for 10% of the damage dealt with her special ability, and keep in mind she's dealing damage to all enemies. This is the part that I think is quite significant. Damage increased by 5% for every 30 speed she has. These damage increases are like if she was going to do, I don't know, 100. That's too small of a number, but it's easy for this example here. If she was going to do 100 damage, she now does 105%, right? That would be set myself up for math I wasn't ready for. Damage increased by 5%. Yeah, so that would be 5% more. The significance there is it adds it to the total number. So it takes the output of the calculation and then it raises it by whatever this percentage is. So damage increased by 5% for every 30 speed, okay? Wouldn't be too hard to have her at 300, and 300 speed would not be hard at all. You could do 390. Going higher would probably be challenging because you have to keep in mind you're trying to prioritize crit rate and crit damage, since she is dealing damage and that's a big part of her special. So you're going to need to work speed in addition to those, which shouldn't be too different because typically, well, it's a bit different because with attack you can have attack armor and attack boots. With speed you can only have speed boots and the rest need to be substats. So I can see this being a little bit tricky to get speed high, so maybe 360 would probably be a pretty reasonable goal. She's going to be a little bit squishy, so some balancing act here going on, but let's say it's at 360. That's boosting her damage by 60%. That's huge. And then if you get another 30 speed from, let's see, every 5 turns of battle increases by 5. So that would be, yeah, it would take 30 turns for that to happen. But up until that point, that could potentially help out depending on where your thresholds are individually. But 60% damage increase is massive. She's also a speed leader in all guild-related battles by 21. So a nice boost off of the typical 17 speed boost. And, you know, with relics and the cabinet, you know, maybe you can get her speed quite a bit higher. So I think she looks pretty great. Mana gain at 23, which is awesome. She's going to be firing often. Yeah, the problem is she would probably be a bit squishy. Let's jump over to the lexicon real quick and see what tomes would do to her ability to see how much better that can get. I wonder if she gets a mana gain +2. If not, if it's only +1, I think trying to prioritize all the different stats you're trying to prioritize and make I'm forgetting the name right now. Caster armor work could be tricky, but let's take a look at her in the lexicon. Okay, for some reason the lexicon is not working right now. I don't know if it's me or what, but couldn't get in there. So let's hope we can pull her, and then we can take a look at how the aspects of her ability level up as you apply tomes. I'm also curious to see if it's going to be a continuous trend that you don't need that many tomes anymore for legendary heroes. That has been true quite a lot lately, I guess you could say. It was the thing before where you needed, 10 to 50, or I would say 14 plus, and I've seen some heroes that are only 4 maybe. I don't think 3 has been possible. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, it's a trend I'm very happy to see. What does this guy do? This is the featured epic. Life leech for 2 turns, 18% of current HP. Heals himself for 3% of his max HP with every gemstone attack. Okay, seems alright. Oh, what are they going to make us do today for golds, huh? I think I just hit the mercy counter recently, so starting from scratch. Also, there should be announcements of my hero contest as well soon. I'm just making my way through your suggestions right now. The difficult decision of trying to decide my favorite and the 10 runners-up. And then that will be announced, and whoever wins will get a copy of that hero when they come out. Hopefully the delay will not be too long. They just have to add that to their pipeline of content. The art is already made already, but I think there's a lot of work to roll that out potentially. If you've witnessed the other contests for other, let's see, Lion Roar, T-Bone, I think are the 2 that have been out so far. You might have a better idea than I do about how long it takes, but hopefully not too bad. Still very exciting though. Oh, okay, I could tell the difference that time. Come on. Wow, I literally have no idea who this is. Gerhardt. Gains increased critical damage for 4 turns. Deals damage to a single enemy based on attack. Deals damage to a single enemy based on target's defense. That's interesting. When attacking with a special ability on an enemy whose defense is lower than his attack, he gains 10% mana. If defense is higher than his attack, he deals 10% more damage. Attack increase by 5% for each enemy. Okay, not jumping the front of the line for me. If you use him and you think he's better than I'm giving him credit for, let me know. That's certainly a possibility, but immediately nothing. I was like, oh man, I need this in my roster right now. Got quite a queue of heroes I'm working on right now. But we are aiming for Delarosa. That's pretty nice though, 1 legendary. In not that many scrolls, I didn't count, but it wasn't even enough to fill up my roster yet. So maybe it's our lucky day and we'll hit another legendary soon. Hopefully it's her. All right, let me know who your newest hero is that you're most excited about. I'm curious what other people use. There's so many good options, especially because you can use epics and rares and legendaries. So I'm curious. It seems like when you combine that with the gear you can have, there's so many possibilities and so much room for creativity. So Curious who you guys have been liking. Feel free to share teams. Obviously, the team composition has a lot to do with the performance of each individual hero. We seem to be hitting a lot of epics, which is maybe a good sign. Alright, I think I can call epic versus legendary now. Obviously, calling epic is statistically more reliable because that is what is more likely to happen. But I did feel like I noticed that legendary looking different. And I know that I've got that wrong many times before, but perhaps as time goes on, I'm figuring it out better. Let's see. Epic. But that means we'll have to hit a legendary before the mercy counter, otherwise too easy to call. All right. Epic. Good old Stenko. And what do we have? Doesn't seem like I'm hitting a lot of epics. Epic. That one I couldn't tell, to be honest, but I went with epic because it's more likely. I feel like this is getting to the point where I'm just going to have to do a direct side-by-side comparison for the different animations for epic and legendary to see, is there actually a difference? Because it drives me crazy. I don't know if you guys feel the same. Oh, I wanted to say legendary, so I can't fucking tell. Alright, I give up. Here, I need some coins. Legendary. See, something was different for sure that time. Come on. Fuck. I put him on my wish list recently. Well, we're hitting above the mercy, which is nice. He's awesome, actually. I played a team. It was a cleanup, too. It was a very good alliance, or guild. So the gear on him was probably fantastic. I don't think he was legendary relic status or anything, but good gear at least. And it was just 3 heroes. I forget who it was. I think it was oh man, it was him, Kerrigan maybe, and what's his name? Leopold. And oh my god, I think I might have lost to them, or it took me a really long time. There's just so much survivability that he brings. The 7-turn spell shield is ridiculous. Obviously there's ways to dispel that, but I don't feel like there's any exceptional dispelling heroes in my opinion, or removing positive statuses from the enemy. What's his name? Oh god, what's his name? So many names to remember. Purple guy on a lot of defenses, was introduced at Halloween last year, I think. Does silence at the start of the wave. I'm so close to remembering his name, but I can't remember his name right now. He removes negative statuses from you and positive from the team, but he doesn't really do anything, I feel like, other than that, unless somebody dies, for his passive ability. What? Whoa, I didn't know you hit a limit. I guess that makes sense. Alright, well, we gotta go feed and we'll be back, but I'm gonna keep pushing for this hero. Alright, we're gonna mix a few platinums in here just to potentially speed things up. My luck with platinums, I've said this a million times, so is not that great. Obviously, you need far less of them than golds, but for some reason, golds seem to serve me best. As you saw with golds, I can hit before the mercy quite often, but that doesn't seem to happen with platinums as much. For me, I don't know if it's different, but Yep. We'll do one more here. Alright, I guess we're going Mercy on golds. Maybe we'll hit before then, but let's see. Damn counter keeps resetting. I have the blessing in my inbox still. They sent us a blessing for something that happened. And I still have it. Could have used it. Probably would have helped today, but I feel like it's such a valuable item that I've been holding it for now. Oh, I need to get some coins. Shit. Well, let's get as far as we can here. Not very far. All right. Let's put an end to this. I think if I get one more legendary that's not the featured hero, I might call it quits. Let's see how I feel. This one's going to be an epic, I can already tell. Oh boy. Yeah, I think they could do with an option to speed this up a little bit. Like 10 pulls or something. You can do 10 pulls with silver scrolls, but for some reason not with golds. I don't know if it'd be faster actually. This is pretty quick, but if you could skip epics, that would be ideal. Anybody remember the good old days when you could skip the animation for epic heroes and it was only legendary where it'd stop you? So then you knew when it stayed on the animation that you got lucky. Well, I've been pretty lucky lately with my summons, and even still, these are lucky to be getting legendaries without going to the mercy counter. Not that you should have to go to the mercy counter every time, but I just feel like neither one was even that close. And just not lucky with the featured right now, but I've done pretty well with that in the past. And sometimes like 3 to 5 gold scrolls and boom, featured legendary pops out, which is pretty amazing. So I think I'm paying for that now. Even though I am getting legendaries. Don't know if I'll level up either one, because like I said, I already have Arendelle. And Gerhardt didn't really wow me. Or perhaps, oh, there it is. Yeah, there's something different about it. Come on. Fuck! God damn it. I already got him. Man, 3 times. 50-50 chance. 3 times is so unlucky. Fuck. I don't think it's worth a diamond scroll. Should I use the damn blessing and then go back to platinum scrolls? Let me go investigate my options here. Alright, desperation set in and I just wish listed her, so now I've got a 75% chance. Let's hope that's good enough. Epic. Actually, you know what? Let's Let's try our luck back over here. Arlen is one of those heroes that I don't see around that much anymore. Kind of like Cyril. He came out after Cyril. But I felt like Cyril needs a buff. His secondary hit should be... There we go. Come on. Thank you. Wow, what an outfit there. Okay. Let's go look at her in... Well, I'm going to go see if the lexicon's working. Otherwise, we'll take a look at the skills, and then we'll call it quits. All right, in terms of tomes, she's back up to more tomes, so I don't understand how they decide that, but they wrote thrice instead of 3 times. That is so funny. 100% chance to inflict bleed on all enemies for 3 turns, thrice. Okay, so that improves in a minor way. So now it's for 3 turns, so 1 more turn of damage 3 times. So 50% increase to the damage per turn for a 50% longer duration, which is a pretty good improvement. Increased speed for 4 turns instead of 3, and then a pretty big jump in damage based on speed. So that was 6 tomes there, so yeah, back up to 12. Mana gain only increased by 1. For every 4 turns, speed is increased by 10. Wow, that gets a lot better. Still max of 30, but it's going to happen a lot quicker. So that's 12 turns versus 30 turns before, right? For every 5 turns, increases by 5. So you need 6 groups of 5. For every 4 turns, increase by 10. So yeah, 12 turns. Okay, heals herself for 15%. That's a big gain. Damage increased by 10% for every 30 speed. Holy shit. So if you get... Whoa. I cannot believe they doubled that. 5% to 10%? She's gonna hit hard, I think. Damage increased by 10% for every 30. So if you can get her up to like 390 with speed leadership and everything, that is 13. That's 130% damage she's dealing. I really need to see this in action to understand, but worth tomes in my opinion, but I would probably test first just to get an idea. Anyways, that's that. Pretty cool hero. Blown away by the boosts from tomes, so that's pretty surprising and pretty awesome. Happy to have her. Other legendaries along the way. I just realized I didn't finish my thought about Arlen, which is just, you don't see him around as much anymore. He's certainly playable, but kind of like Cyril, is not really doing enough. Perhaps he's more of an offensive hero. But anyways, that's that thought. Please hit that like button and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for Thank you guys so much for watching me burn a ton of scrolls here, and I will see you in the next video.